So how do you predict in astrology? What are some of the key factors you should know when, trying to either predict your own stuff or predicting somebody else's horoscope? And the basic things that you have to look at is the sign, okay, that the planets are placed in, houses that the planets are placed in, the ascendant, what rising sign they have, okay, and what planets are aspecting each other. So these are the basic concept that an astrologer uses to predict somebody's, forthcoming events in their life. However, there's one key important factor when trying to predict about coming events, okay, and that is done through something called Dasha System, okay. In astrology, especially Vedic astrology, and this is why it's very important that you guys get familiarized with this, especially the ones who are new to my videos and wanting to see what am I talking about. I'm trying to give you the most easiest and the basic method to start enjoying astrology and start predicting from it. So in Vedic astrology, okay, there's something called Dasha System, which is pretty much, if this is your birth chart, then this is the timetable of your life. Okay, it shows exactly what events when they're going to be happening. So if birth chart is saying you will get married, you will have kids, you will have 2 daughters, you will go into career as a policeman, you will go to grad school to education. This timeline called the Dasha System tells you exactly when these events are going to be occurring. Okay, so the Dasha System pretty much is a timetable of planets. Okay, that at any given point in your life, certain planets are ruling majority of your life. Okay, so even though you have this birth chart, okay, in Western astrology and Vedic astrology, however, depending upon where your moon sign is in your birth chart and what constellation, not zodiac sign, what constellation that moon sign is sitting in, which is known as the nakshatra, that determines which planetary cycle you will start your life with. So let's say your planet's Saturn is really bad in your horoscope, okay, it's trying to give you all the misery, all the sad things in life, and then you have Jupiter, who's the most amazing placed planet in your horoscope. It is excelled, it's sitting in the 4th house, it's absolutely beautifully placed. So does this mean that Saturn is going to ruin your entire life? No. Because depending upon what planet is controlling your majority of life, that's how your life is going to be situated for that time being. So let's say during your birth, your moon was placed in the sign of Gemini, okay, at 5 degrees. So that means moon is sitting in the Gemini sign, zodiac sign, but behind the moon, there's another constellation that's at work. And so the constellation that is at work is named Mrigashira. That means the deer's head, okay? And this nakshatra is ruled by Mars, okay? So when you're born, okay, and depending upon which degree of this nakshatra you're born, you will start your life with planet Mars, okay? So planet Mars has a 7-year life cycle in your own life, okay? So from birth to the first 7 years, the first 3 years, 4 years, depending upon the degrees of the moon, your majority of your life will be influenced by how Mars is placed in your horoscope. So forget all the other aspects of your life. Mars is controlling everything, okay? So like I said about the bad Saturn and the good Jupiter, so let's say at the age of 14, your Jupiter period starts, and you have Saturn also in your life because Saturn is placed in the bad house. So Saturn is, let's say, sitting in your house of education, and it's really badly placed. It's denying you your education. However, your Jupiter is excelled. Your Jupiter is sitting in the 4th house in Cancer, and your Dasha system, okay, your period of Jupiter started for 16 years. So for next 16 years, Jupiter is going to be bringing things related to itself in your life. So what this simply means is that even though your Saturn is badly placed, that is denying you education, but because you're in a period of Jupiter, who is excelled, who wants to bless you with everything, he's going to nullify that effect of Saturn, and he's going to say, you know what, Saturn, this is not your time right now. Right now it's my time. I'm going to give this person everything he wants. So in that time period, this person attains his entire educational process that he was supposed to attain, like college, undergrad, grad degree. Okay? So the next 16 years of this person's life will be very positive, will be very uplifting. But after that, Saturn starts. After 16 years, okay, the Saturn cycle will start. So when he's like 32, 33, that's when this person is going to get the Saturn period. So when Saturn is badly placed, from that point on, this person should be cautious. This person, should take care, do the remedies as they're assigned, and so that will nullify the effects of Saturn. But that's when Saturn is going to show its true effect. Right now, majority of the time, planets are sleeping, except that one planet that is controlling your life for that time period. Okay, but how do you actually predict when somebody gets married, when somebody is gonna, find a job, and all these things? That is also seen from this thing called Dasha. So let's say Venus. Somebody runs through their Venus cycle from the age of 19 to the age of 39 or 38, okay, because Venus is a 19-year-old cycle. So if Venus is the ruler of the seventh house, okay, so it's the seventh house in your horoscope is ruled by Taurus or Libra, and let's say Venus is sitting in the 10th house, or Venus is also sitting in the 7th house. So when that time period comes, the things related to Venus in your chart will start to take effect. So when Venus comes and your 7th house, which is ruled by Venus, that is going to get activated. So your time period of marriage has arrived. So in this majority of the time period of Venus, you will get married. And depending upon where the other sign is placed, okay, so your other sign that is ruled by Venus is Taurus, 2nd house, okay, in this case. So then what happens is Venus is also bringing you a lot of wealth, depending upon how well or how ill Venus is placed. So this is how an astrologer looks at. He's like, oh, so his 7th year Dasha system is going right now, and he wants to know about his marriage. So yeah, obviously he's going to get married in this type. But how do you pinpoint if when this person is going to get married? That's when Antra Dasha comes into play. So there's your birth chart, there's your timetable called Dasha. But in that timetable, there's a detailed thing called Antradasha, which shows the cycle of each planet that comes in that major period of that main planet. So, like Jupiter has that main Dasha, but in Jupiter, all the other planets will also come for a little bit. They will come for 3 months, 2 months, 1 month. So they will do their own cycle in this majority of the time period. So what is Antradasha? Antradasha is the same thing. It's Mahadasha. It's like a major period of Jupiter. Antra meaning it's inside that major period, okay, but it's very small increments compared to that 16-year of Jupiter period. You're gonna get maybe 6 months of Mars period. You're gonna get 5 months of Ketu period. You're gonna get 9 months of Sun period. So all these within 16 years, okay. The other 8 or 9 planets are gonna play their part. So when Jupiter good time is there for this person, where he has Saturn in a really bad place, and let's say Saturn comes in the very beginning of that cycle, that's when this person should be careful. But after Saturn, let's say Mercury comes in play in his small Antradasha. So Mercury is, let's say, very well placed in the career house, okay? So what happens when Jupiter period is going and that small Mercury period comes, that can trigger, okay, this person should look for a job at this time, because his Mercury is sitting in the 10th house, his Jupiter is transiting in the 10th house. So these Antradasha shows those small increments. So judging by which house these planets are ruling, those are the events that are going to be happening. So if Jupiter Mahadasha is happening and Venus Antradasha is happening, and Venus is ruling your 7th house, while Jupiter is ruling your 4th house, that shows, okay, in this 6-month period time, this person is going to get married. So this is a very, very basic analysis and a lesson on dashas and antradashas. Obviously, I can go on and on for another cut 20 minutes to show you how exactly this works, but obviously I don't get that kind of upload time from YouTube. But this was a basic lesson on what dasha is and how important they are in predicting and in seeing the good and bad times that this person's going to be going through in their life. So it's very important for even Western lovers to pay attention to this, because through this you can actually do the predictions. You know how I'm not an advocate of weekly, daily, and yearly horoscope, but when it comes to dashas, that's when I'm like, okay, this is more real versus your regular horoscope. So anyway, if you have want to know any more information, check out my website below, astrologycaras.com, and please subscribe above because more fun stuff's to come in the next 2-3 months. I can't tell you, but it's coming. Thank you.